What's up, guys? Silver here with another Halo Reach achievement guide. This time we are doing part 5 of our 9-part series to complete Halo Reach on Legendary. So this is the 5th playable mission, Long Night of Solace. Start that up. This is on Legendary. We start here on the beach. We're going to run past the enemies in the beginning here. So just follow this path. We're going to sprint over here. Then we're going to wait for our sprint to recharge until we get to about this rock right here. So right here, and then we're going to sprint again past the enemies. We're going to go to the left over here. We could go into the water. If you go too far to the left, it'll say you have 10 seconds to return to the playing area, but that's fine. And we're just going to follow this path, run up here, and we're going to hijack the Wraith. We're not actually going to use it, but we're just going to beat it to death with our Spartan Fists of Fury. Just follow this path, keep on going, skipping all those enemies right at the start of the mission here. And we're going to run up to this, this little walkway here, and we're going to hide in between. You can see on the left and right, there's a spirit coming in. That's where the Wraith is coming from. But right here is a pretty safe area. I'm poking my head out so the spirit actually sees me, but if you stayed in there, it'd be pretty safe. And then we're going to run there once the spirit stops and starts descending. And this Wraith will drop down, grab it from behind, and start beating the hell out of it. It blows up, and we're just going to sprint back over here, kind of where we came from. And we're just going to move up to the facility here, the launch facility for the Saber spaceship that we're about to hop into. But first, before we do that, we need to take out these guys. So from here, we can see there's some enemies trying to keep our friends on Noble Team from getting up to where we are. So we're going to take some concussion rifles, concussion rifle rounds from that elite, apparently. That was not the smartest place to be, but this is a pretty good spot to be picking off all these grunts and jackals. Focus on those guys first, and make sure you keep an eye on that elite so he doesn't take you by surprise. And Noble Team actually does a pretty good job of killing some people on their way up here too, so get some help. You can hide behind this thing, obviously, on my left, and to the right there's more rocks. I just decided to not hide behind those things when that elite was shooting at me. There's a DMR right there. Grab that, so we have full DMR ammo. And we're going to exchange our assault rifle for this guy's rocket launcher. He's going to be running at us with rockets. Grab those. And we're going to move over here, and there's another guy with rockets. We're going to kill him, unfortunately for him. We need his rockets. So now we got 7 rockets. Usually you get around that much. It might be a little more, a little less. Elite moves forward. Try to assassinate him. I failed there. But a couple smacks and a shot to the face did the job there. I went back just to check for plasma grenades to see if he dropped any, but he was not nice enough to do so in his death. And we're just moving forward here. Speed this part up because there's nothing to do here. We're just kind of waiting for all this area to load in, and then we're going to sprint up here, and that triggers a long cutscene. There's a lot of really long cutscenes in here that I'm cutting out because you don't need a guide for watching cutscenes, I hope. But right when we spawn in here, we're going to climb up here. We're going to get some altitude, and then we're going to turn to the right. And you can see that nice, whatever that is. I don't know what that is, but it's very nice looking. What a picture. So we're going to just drift towards that area, that big, bright, luminous area that has a bunch of wreckage in front of it. How beautiful. So eventually, you won't be able to go any further. It will turn you around automatically, but we're going to turn around anyway. That's a good idea because the enemies are going to be spawning behind us. So there's going to be a nav point. And we want that to be on our right, and we want to be above it a little bit. So we'll see that spawn in. And we want to keep this this structure, this human structure, whatever this is, we want to keep that on our right. So you can see I'm kind of drifting towards the left of that nearest structure. And we're just drifting lazily. It takes a little bit of time for these guys to spawn in, which is always annoying. So there's the nav point. We want that to be to our right a little bit. And we want to be a little bit above it, and we're just going to start shooting that way, and that's where the Banshees spawn in. So hopefully we can take out a lot of these guys right off the bat. So there's a bunch, and then there's also ones coming from below you as well, streaking from below. So once you kill the majority of those that we were shooting at first, you want to turn your attention like down and to the right, because there's a bunch more Banshees coming in. So we took out most of those right away before they even really had a chance to fire at us. So that's the idea here. And then there's some nav points once there's a small enough amount of craft left. And there's the only one left. So we want to do the same thing, basically, for all the rounds. Unfortunately, I'm not in a great position. There's going to be 4 Seraphs that spawn in. So they are spawning in right now. And here they come. There's only 4 of them. For these, you need to use your chain gun, which is the default gun on your saber. But then you want to switch. You want to use your Y button. It's Y for me. I don't know about other controller layouts, but you hit Y on my controller to switch to the missiles. So take their shield down with the chain gun and then switch to your missiles to finish them off. And it only takes 1 salvo of missiles. Every time you hit the trigger, it will shoot 4 missiles, and that is enough to kill a Seraph. So it'll lock on and then just pull the trigger once, and you could turn your attention elsewhere. 2 Seraphs left. This guy's pretty far away. We'll try to kill him anyway. You can see that there's a little like assistant reticle. So you have to lead your shot here with this saber. But the game actually has like a reticle that you should aim at, which is pretty cool. That happens with the Needler too. You can see that circle. There's the targeting reticle, which is the circle on my screen, that doesn't move. But then there's one that's always a moving target, really, depending on where the Seraph's moving. So try to line your reticle up with that one. So now we killed the 4 Seraphs. There's going to be another wave of a bunch of Banshees and Seraphs now. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to target the Banshees as they spawn in. Getting more altitude here. Got that nav point down and to the right a little bit. There's going to be Seraphs spawning in. Ignore those guys. We're going for the Banshees who spawn in a couple seconds later. So we'll kill as many of those guys as possible. Again, there's the ones in front of you, but then there's ones down and to the right that are streaking up. So we're going to turn our attention that way. Kill as many of those as quickly as you can. And then you kind of just got to improv a little bit if you don't kill enough. We do have to take out the Seraphs as well, which we totally ignored from the start. So we are going to use Anchor 9 for cover at this point. Really just use whatever cover is closest, but Anchor 9 is really good for using as cover. Most of the ships do not come back behind here, so this is pretty safe. Of course, as I say that, 1 Banshee comes behind, but that's not very common. Most of the time they stay in front of Anchor 9, and we are behind it. Anchor 9 is this giant space station, the biggest piece of wreckage. It's not actually wreckage. It's a very nice space station, but it's the biggest floating thing up here. So kind of just be cautious. You could always just pop out and kill one thing and then go back behind Anchor 9 and just kind of be conservative like that. Whatever you're most comfortable with, really. But we killed most of the enemies so far, and once you kill most of the enemies, 5 Phantoms will spawn in, and we need to take out those 5 Phantoms in order to progress to the next part of the mission. So you can see there's 5 nav points appearing on my screen, 1 right ahead. I'm going to go after this guy, and it takes 2 salvos of missiles to destroy Phantoms. So shoot your missiles twice, which will be 4 missiles each, equaling 8, and you could turn your attention to the next Phantom once you fire that second salvo. You don't even have to watch to wait for it to hit, because the Phantoms don't really move or do evasive maneuvers or anything, so you know it's going to collide with them. I guess unless a Seraph dives in front of it to save the Phantom, but I have never seen that happen. I suppose it's possible, though. I don't know why I'm shooting at these guys. I have 1 Phantom left, and then once you kill the Phantoms, all the other ships actually just leave, so all the Banshees and Seraphs that remain will just vacate the area, and they'll stop shooting at you. So I'm just going to speed this part up because we're just waiting for all the Seraphs and Banshees to leave. They're totally ignoring us now, and we are just drifting along. There's some dialogue that we got to sit through, and the nav point will pop up saying, hey, land here. Don't sprint at it because it will kill you if you collide with the ship before the cutscene triggers. So to start this part of the mission, after that cutscene, we want to dive down pretty deep so we can get under this ship here. And we're going to shoot at the undercarriage of the ship because it has a bunch of docked Banshees that are about to launch. So we want to take out as many, hopefully all of them if we can, right off the bat before they even get in the air. So we're going to, I like to drift and follow that path. Once I kill the Banshees, I like to loop around and go under the ship again and start attacking the Seraphs. That's usually a good bet. So we're going to take out that guy, and then just kind of pick Seraphs as you see them and take them out. Obviously, the ones closer you should prioritize because they're easier to kill, and they're probably more of a threat towards you as well. So we took out all the Banshees, or most of them there. I just killed one there. And then there's going to be some nav points that are the ship's engines, that Corvette's engines, the big ship that we were flying around and under. So you want to, if you want, you can take them out right away, but you should probably just focus your efforts on killing all the Seraphs and Banshees in the area, because it'll be a lot easier to take out the Corvette's engines without anybody firing at you. And also, you need to kill all the enemies in the area anyway. So even if you kill the Corvette's engines right off the bat, you still need to deal with all the Seraphs and Banshees. So why not take out those guys first? And then now that we're behind it, we could slow down. And once you lock onto one, you could just drift your aim to the other one, and it will continue locking on. You won't have to relock on, which is nice. So you can see I started on the right, locked on, fired, and then I just drifted to the next one on the left, and then fired again. So that was nice. So do that. It's time efficient, and doesn't take a lot of effort. After you do that, there's going to be another wave of Seraphs that come in from the right side. If you're facing the back of the Corvette, there'll be more enemies coming in from the right. And there's like 4 or 5 more Seraphs, so we'll take these guys out. And 3 left to look, 4 left. So we're just going to pretty much keep doing the same thing we've been doing. You could use the Corvette for cover, which is pretty good. Make sure you don't get hit from above by those drop pods that come out of it. And also, you could use the Savannah, that human ship that's kind of circling the Corvette, the Covenant ship. Use that human ship to hide behind, which is a pretty good bet. I don't do it here, but it's a pretty safe spot to be in. Just make sure you don't collide with it, because it is moving. The Savannah, the human ship, does move around the map, so it will kill you. It's a lot bigger than you. So I think that's it for the ships. I just sped this part up because a lot of dialogue, and we're going to land on top of the Corvette here to trigger the cutscene. So we should have our DMR and rockets still from the beginning of the mission. There's going to be an elite that hops up here. We're going to kill him, try to assassinate him. I didn't get it there, but I got it with a second hit. Then we're just going to jump across this big hole, this big shielded area, and there's going to be another elite that hops up, and we're going to do the same thing to him. And then there's going to be 4 elites down here that don't hop up, but we're going to hop down, fire a rocket at one there and one there. They're always standing there working on their little computers. We'll jump back up here and reload. And you can see there's that big like I-beam going across the ceiling of the of this area, which is what I like to hop on. And then if you need to retreat, you can just jump back up to safety. So that's a pretty reliable strat. So I took out that third of 4 elites down in here. And in this run through, I think my Marines actually take out the 4th one somehow. They usually don't do that, but I was very happy with them. Good job, guys. So we're going to hop down here. I usually don't have this many rockets at this point. So I was kind of like torn. Should I take the rockets or should I grab the plasma pistol? Which there's 2 fully loaded plasma pistols behind me under that center area in this room here. So I'm like, should I go grab it? Should I not? So I'm kind of going back and forth here. But I decided to take the rockets. I'm going to go grab the plasma pistol in a little bit, though. So this room is full of grunts and some elites. Also, an engineer is floating in the middle of the room, so we got to take him out first because he provides extra shielding to every enemy, even grunts who don't normally have shielding. So we're just going to fire into him. I was trying to headshot him, but I just decided to settle on giving him a bunch of body shots. And we'll just hang out here, take out as many grunts as we can. Especially take out those grunts that have either a fuel rod or a fully charged plasma pistol, because they could take your shield down in one burst, obviously. Like that guy. And then there's random elites. One has a focus rifle, so that's annoying. I tried to shoot this guy from across the map, but he decided to dodge. Oh, God. So we're just going to back up here. Back up if you need to. And just be aware that when you are here, they could shoot you. The elite over there with the focus rifle could lay some shots on you, so kind of crouch up here before you get to the top of that platform there. And there's just going to be some grunts kind of trying to penetrate your position here. I do have rockets, so if an elite ever comes to the base of this ramp here, I could just back up and rocket it. Which I believe I will do, if I'm not mistaken. Watch out for these guys. Here's a fuel rod guy, like I was saying. You could also back up into the hallway that we came from, which might be a little safer if you're not as, this hallway right here, if you're not as comfortable kind of holding out with that position. You could just kind of poke your head in and out and retreat as you need to, and the door will shut. So I decide to forget about these rockets. I'm going to grab this plasma pistol. And there are 3 elites left, it looks like. Oh, no, that's... oh, yeah, that is an elite. Noob combo them. The noob combo is when you overcharge a plasma pistol and it hits a shielded enemy, like the elites. And then you just switch to your headshot weapon, which is the DMR in this case, for the kill. So it's a very efficient and quick way to kill elites and brutes in other games that are shielded. We're going to do the same thing to this guy. And then all the way over here, we can't overcharge plasma pistol him from this far away, or it won't lock on at least, so I decided to give him a few bursts with the plasma pistol, which is very efficient as well. And he decided to not move, which is not uncommon, so just do that. And I decided to blow up all those explodey barrels, finish it off. I didn't even shoot him with a headshot. There is a second plasma pistol that is fully charged, so I went and grabbed that. And I'm just going to move up here and hit this button to continue the mission. Now, skip that cutscene. There's a bunch of DMR ammo right there I just went over, and some health packs if you need them. We're going to sit here. There's going to be 2 grunts when this door opens. We're just going to headshot them real quick, and then we're going to turn our attention to 2 elites with the noob combo. So those guys are down. Sometimes the elites push into this side corridor here. Sometimes they stay in the main one to the right. So the other one's right here. So sometimes if you kill all the enemies too quickly, and an elite remains, the elite will move down here. So that elite did that and alerted the enemies in the next area to our presence. So normally you could come in here if that didn't happen and assassinate these 2 elites. But since they know we're coming, we need to noob combo them, which is easy enough. So we'll just do that. Even if you could decide to noob combo them anyway, even if you don't alert them to your presence. So whatever works. We'll move into this next section, which could be an annoying room. The enemies never spawn in the same spot, so it could be frustrating kind of trying to plan out what you need to do. So wait for that guy to move so you could assassinate this guy, and then assassinate him. And unfortunately, I was spotted after that, so I couldn't continue my assassination spree. But we are going to switch to noob comboing people, again, of course, but watch out because there are 2 invisible elites in the area, and one has a sword, and this is one of those guys right there. So we're just going to kind of be cautious. There is still an invisible elite, which, thankfully, I wasn't even shooting at him, but he decided to jump in front of my bullets to reveal himself. But they do show up on radar, so keep an eye on your radar. Move around the room slowly, and kind of try to get them to reveal themselves. So that guy didn't have a sword, so he would just start shooting at you. So then obviously that would reveal where he was, and then you could just start kind of shooting him with the plasma pistol. Not an overcharge, but just kind of shooting normally with the plasma pistol, and that takes his shield down and reveals him very quickly. And that is the last enemy, so I should be able to hit this button. Of course, we need some dialogue first before we hit it. When you do hit this button, you want to be ready, because there is going to be a bunch of grunts, jackals, and 1 elite that comes through the door you came through. So turn your attention back that way. Try to take these guys out from afar with your DMR. There is a crate of needle rifle ammo to my right, so you could switch to a needle rifle if you run out of DMR. It's along the perimeter of the room. So we're just going to shoot these guys in the notch of their shields, and it will get them to stagger backwards, and you could finish them with a headshot, ideally. Also, you want to take out the elite before you kill all the other enemies, so don't make the elite the last thing alive, because he will retreat, kind of like in that previous section. And there we go. Grab a fresher plasma pistol. Not totally fresh, but better. And we're going to charge our plasma pistol up here and aim for the lower left section of the door over here, because there's going to be an elite there. So when it opens up, you could hopefully nail him with that, take him out quickly. And then we just have 2 grunts and a jackal to deal with. So if that elite in the previous room retreated, it would be more annoying to go through this section, because there'd be 2 elites and there'd be 2 grunts and a jackal instead of just the 1 elite. So we're going to move up here, keep grabbing a fresh plasma pistol as you see fit. There are a bunch of jackals, grunts, and elites in this area, and there will be more reinforcements into this room as well, which we know where they're coming from, so we could kind of plan for that, which I'll show you how we do that. There's more DMR ammo right here, of course, so grab that one that was dropped off in one of the previous cutscenes. And we're just going to clear out this area, headshot the grunts, obviously, stagger the jackals with one of those notch shots, and then headshot them, and then the use the noob combo to take out the elites. So once the objective appears on the center top of your screen, and there's some dialogue there, you can see it says defend the slip space bomb. We need to be over here. We're going to lay a grenade down at the feet of 4 jackals right in the middle of all of them. So hopefully you have some plasmas you could use, which does the job. If not, use a frag. Move up here. There will be 2 more jackals with needle rifles. Then we're going to sprint over here. And we are going to headshot all these grunts. And there is an elite in the area, too, that spawns in. So watch out for him. There he is. We'll just pepper him with this thing. Take him out. And then once these guys are dead, we want to move up here. There is one still alive, it looks like. So we're going to have to take him out. But we want to keep an eye out on that door down there because people will spawn in from there next. But we need to take this guy out first. There we go. Now a bunch of grunts will spawn in this door that I'm looking at. So we want to take out 3, and then once you take out 3 of them, 1, 2, 3. We want to move over back here because 2 elites are going to spawn in. We'll just assassinate them real quick before they have a chance to react. Missed that second assassination, but we got the other 2. So we're going to hang here because there's going to be another elite that spawns in here. So we're going to assassinate him real quick. And there he is. And we missed, but we got the job done there. And then we're going to noob combo the guy coming down from the opposite ramp. And then there are 2 elites on the opposite side of the room coming down their own ramps over there. Or they might spawn on the bottom. I don't know. I forget. But it doesn't matter. They're already out in the middle here. So we're going to noob combo both of them. And we missed that second one, but we're behind cover. He's focused on George anyway. And we'll finish him off with a headshot. So one of the longer missions in this game, but we did it. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to keep watching, you could click on one of the related guides on the left side of your screen, and also be sure to subscribe by clicking on the scorpion icon and hitting that bell for notifications. You could also check out other social media links of mine down below in the description, and I'll see you in the next one.